Alrighty, welcome back to High on the Hog. I'm your host, Sawyer Dillinger, alongside co-host John Dillinger.
Yeah. We got a good show for you today.
Got an
Good show.
real good show today. We got an instant reaction to Arkansas walloping the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, 70-0.
Lot higher score than I predicted.
Yeah.
I thought we would be much more conservative with our play call, but
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
We were
we
really
kinda were.
realistically.
We just overmatched the
Yeah.
opponent and dominated in every phase of the game.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Exciting.
It didn't look like we really showed much of anything other than we can throw and run the ball, but not really any trick plays were
Right.
shown or
No
nothing like
big
that.
wrinkles, just straightforward, play action,
Yeah.
handoffs. O-line did great, blocking, and everybody did good blocking down the field, the receivers, and just a very dominant performance on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
Was it
really good.
as big as that 70 looks? That 0 looks just as big.
Yeah,
as good.
just as clean. And I was getting a little nervous when they got down there at the field goal range. I was like, well, man, it would have been nice to see a 0, but hey, we ended up keeping it that way anyways.
They backed them up. It was a sack, and so that's good. All
False
good.
start, I believe, is
Yeah,
what started
back
it,
'em
and
up.
then
All
but-
good things.
looked really good. It was more than what I expected too. I was hoping, I think I said 35, 40 point, hopefully, and they doubled that.
Yeah.
And
So the line
so-
on the game, I looked at before the game started. It was like 55 a couple days ago. It got down to 50 and a half, and so that was the point spread on the game. Was
Yeah.
50 and a half, and I didn't think they would cover that. Good thing I'm not a betting man. I lost.
yeah, I would have too. I probably would have too, but I guess that's why we're high on the hog though.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't. I was going to say, Trey does a walk and talk.
Yeah.
And we're doing our.
This is the first ever sit and spit.
I thought of some other names too.
Go throw them out there.
What about Sonder and Ponder?
Sonder and Ponder.
What about Sat and Chat?
Sat and chat. Well, that's just sit and spit, but
Hey, man, I'm doing what I can do.
I appreciate the effort. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with the sit and spit. I think that's pretty clean.
All
But
right.
Trey Bitter, don't sue us, please. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. I think we looked real good. It obviously wasn't a catch, but I loved how Bobby Petrino decided he was going to throw a 70-yard bomb for the first play of the game just to do it. And if it would have, his first play back, a 70-yard reception would have been awesome. But
It was set up perfect.
Yeah.
The perfect play was called.
outran the
Ronan,
guy.
Yeah, he did his job. Taylor just underthrew it.
Yeah,
And
first play of the game though.
That first series, Taylor looked a little shaky. And we were kind of like, oh no.
Jaquindon fumbled the ball, second play of the
Yeah,
game.
of course it wasn't lost, so
Yeah.
it went out of bounds, so we kept possession. There was 2 fumbles on the game, Quindon, and then who had the other one? Was it one of the quarterbacks maybe? But neither one of them were lost.
Yeah, we kept both of them, but first game
so-
jitters. I'd much rather them do that this game than next week because next week's going to be a much different outcome. It's not going to be a 70-0. So we're going to have to play really tight next week. I like that. I didn't get the number, but I don't feel like we had very many penalties.
Yeah, I didn't look at the penalties either. I did look at some stats. The box score looked unlike any box score I've ever seen before. Just the amount of players on our team that recorded stats.
Yeah.
For instance, I think Sam Pittman said in the press conference that it was the first time we had ever had a game where we forced 9 punts and we never punted
not
the ball.
once. We went 10 for 10.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
10 scores on the game.
Yep.
There were, I think, 9. So you brought up a stat that I didn't believe while we were watching the game.
Yeah, this is crazy to think.
So tell me what that stat was. Last year.
Yeah, last season, the Arkansas Razorbacks had 9 rushing touchdowns over 12 games.
For the whole season.
For the entire season.
I didn't believe that. I made him look it up and show
Yeah.
it to me because Arkansas is known.
We are a running
As a
team. We're
running,
gonna.
you know.
I mean, hard-nosed football is what
And,
we are
and
based
even
on.
on our bad years, we typically
Run the ball a
that's
lot.
what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to run the ball if we score at all. In this game today, we had 8 rushing touchdowns.
We almost tied.
Listen to this.
For
We
last
had
season.
9 different Razorbacks that recorded rushing stats. So there was 9 different rushers.
Wow.
There were 14 different receivers. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that on any team ever.
I've
I don't
never
think.
seen that many receivers.
That is great.
listed.
Do we even have 14 receivers on the team?
Well, because you had
Tight
all
ends.
of our tight ends, all of our receivers. That
Yeah.
played. We played 82 players,
Wow.
and then all of our backs, I think, all
Yeah.
caught the ball.
All of them had a good game, might I add. I feel like.
We played. We had 22 different Razorback defensive players that recorded at least 1 tackle.
Wow.
22.
22.
So when you're looking down, sorry about that, and I hopefully we fixed my microphone situation.
We did a little tweaking, so I'm hoping that the camera quality is a little bit better, and he sounds. I know we had some comments that you were a little quiet,
Yeah.
and then the last episode, it sounded you kind of hear it twice. So we're hoping we're getting that out of the way.
My great
Trying
aunt was on me pretty good about my microphone.
Yeah.
She commented on Facebook and YouTube. So Aunt Lois out there watching, number 1, thanks for watching.
Appreciate
number 2, let me know if the microphone sounds better.
Yeah, we're trying, guys. Though we are.
But when you look down the stat sheet, one of the things that stuck out to me was like Landon Jackson. His stats was he had like let's see here. I think
Yeah, I was about to say. I hope you
one
got
or
the
two-
defense stats. I
1
don't.
or 2 tackles. I think one.
Really?
He had 1 tackle, 1 solo. It was a solo tackle. He had 1, and it. Let's see, and it was a tackle for a loss. It was just a team effort.
Everybody. It was hogs at the
Everybody got
ball.
to play, with the exception of just a handful of guys, and
Can't play everybody though.
yeah,
But we got 82 different.
Guarantee you, they didn't expect to go 82 deep.
Heck no.
Today,
Heck no.
All 3 of our quarterbacks that dressed got in the game and was actually good. Did you get the offensive stats? Did you want to get? I know, So Taylor Green, he threw for 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Threw for 229 yards and rushed for 88 yards.
Yeah.
What was his passing percentage?
He went 16 for 23. It's 69.5, but let's call it 70. 70%.
Malachi was 8 of 10, so
Yeah.
he was even more
He did-
accurate. That's
he did really good.
120 yards.
120 yards.
Yeah. And then KJ Jackson was 4-4. That's 100%.
That's
So,
perfect score right there.
They did everybody did good. Again, it's just a good team effort. We got the starters all dominated.
Yep.
Not only the starters, but I'd say the 1B guys. All the
Exactly,
all
yeah.
backups or the guys that are coming in and rotating. Like for instance, T. Will said, if you play, you're a starter in my eyes.
Exactly,
'Cause I ain't
yeah.
putting you on the field unless you're going to help take care of my kids.
Well, Arkansas doesn't have starters. We have standards, is what T. Will likes to
like
say.
that.
I like that a lot. But yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. I'll be honest. I figured UAPB would score probably 2 touchdowns when our secondary came in. So I was expecting maybe 1 or 2.
second team.
And so I was thoroughly surprised and honestly very excited to see that our 2 deep, which I mean, I know it's UAPB, but I mean, our 2 deep, they held them scoreless and they
3 deep.
scored.
4 deep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Cases, so.
and they held them scoreless, and they were scoring the ball. I mean, it's not just our starters that were scoring.
Now, I know
All of our running backs, pretty much.
we're excited, and I think you should be as Razorback fans. I think we've got that swagger back.
I think we got a good
Last year's team. Just think if Bobby Petrino is the offensive coordinator instead of Dan Enos.
Exactly. Yeah.
The record, no doubt, the record with all those 5 we talked about
Mm-hmm.
in our first video, those 5 1-score losses. You might have flipped all of them if Bobby
Yeah.
was over there. So I really
And
like,
I think you could, really, honestly.
Coach Pittman and his staff that he's put together. We've got our swagger back. We had swagger on defense.
Yeah.
Swagger's
T.
back
Will
on
is just
offense.
he's just a guy who's got it.
So what do you think Oklahoma State's thinking? looking at this box score. And
I'm excited to watch the Oklahoma State game. They're
Who they
playing.
playing?
They're playing North Dakota State. I thought it was South Dakota
now, it could
State.
be North Dakota State. They just played
That was South
Colorado.
Dakota State. That's what I was saying. I thought it was South Dakota State because I was like, well, they're the good team, but they just played Colorado and almost beat Colorado.
North Dakota State just played
Look it up. South Dakota
Colorado.
State.
No. NDSU Bison. North Dakota State Bison.
I just looked up and they're playing North Dakota State. I could be tripping, guys. I might be lying to
Unless
you.
they're
My
playing
phone's over
like
there.
next Saturday.
No, they're playing this
We're
Saturday.
playing- Yeah, no, they can't. Yeah. Somebody's wrong here and
Yeah.
it's not me.
I don't think it's me either. Look it up real quick
All
for
right,
us.
I'll look it
I
up.
could be
You
wrong,
call,
and
I'll look it up.
I apologize if I am, guys. But I could have swore it said ND and then space state, because South Dakota State is the. Oh, are they the Zips or something?
Yeah, NDSU is who Colorado
Well, look.
just
Yeah,
played.
I am wrong. Okay. Well, I apologize. I could have swore it said ND State because
So let me find
Tillman
out.
was over.
So Oklahoma State is top 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see who they're playing.
And while he's doing that, just a couple stats. Like he said, Taylon Green, 16 for 23, 2 touchdowns. Malachi Singleton had 120 yards. KJ Jackson, 59 yards, but he didn't throw a single bad ball. I mean, he threw 4 for 4.
So you just had them flipped.
Okay,
They're playing
yeah.
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State is who I thought North Dakota State was. I thought they were the good team that almost beat Colorado
And
State.
they
But
are the Zips. South Dakota
Zips.
State
Okay,
is.
yeah, I just
They'll
had
have it.
I had the two Dakotas
But
backwards.
North
But
Dakota State is a very, very good D, whatever they call it now. I can't ever keep track. They change
Division
it all the
One,
time,
Double A or something.
But yeah, like them and
Montana.
and like Delaware.
Yeah, just some random one-off. But yeah,
They're
So-
very good in their league.
yeah.
And give Colorado fits. But Oklahoma State's playing the Zips coming up Saturday at 1 o'clock. And I'm looking forward to the game with them.
Yeah.
We both
Picked them to
picked
win.
them
For us to win, yeah.
as an upset over them, and I'm not saying we are, but
When you hang
think we are
when you
going
hang
to.
70 on a team, it doesn't matter what team. 70 is not hard to do. Or it's not easy to do. And I think Oklahoma State is probably like, well, hold on a minute. We might have to.
it's going to be a ball game
Yeah.
for sure. Even though it's at Stillwater.
It'll really that game will depend on our defense, our running defense. If we can keep Ollie Gordon III to, at least 150 yards and a touchdown or two, I think we have a really, really good chance of beating that
The
team.
running back.
He's their running back, yeah. I couldn't tell you
I
their.
hope we hold him
yeah.
to less than 150
It'd be
yards.
nice. I hope we hold him to -10, but yeah, we kind of jumped over UAPB a little bit. Mekhi Hagens is their quarterback, and honestly, the stats for him, in my opinion, I don't think it did him justice because he had some.
looked good.
He looked
He had
good. Look,
moments where he looked
UAPB went 2-10 last year, and I know we hang 70 on them, but it's 4 and 3 stars against 1 and 2. It's just the difference of talent, and I think UAPB really did. I think Mekhi Hagens is going to have a pretty good year. I think they're going to have a much better year than they did last year.
They played tough.
They didn't give up, and Mekhi Hagens had some bombs down the field that were almost wide open, and if not, he just put a perfect ball, and he just had his receivers drop the ball. So if those flipped the other way, he could have got close to 200 yards and definitely 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Well, last year's team, it would have been a much closer ball game.
Oh yes, last year's team, I think they would have scored quite a bit.
Yeah, it would have probably been something like what we were thinking.
Yeah,
you know,
35-14
yeah,
or something
something
of in that range. But 70-0, we were 3 off from tying Oklahoma's Arkansas State beatdown, and I mentioned that in the preview. And man, if we just had 1 field goal, I would have been right on that. But yeah,
Special teams looked good. We didn't get to see any field goals, but extra points. He was perfect.
perfect. But I'll say
the
this: he
first
was
few-
favoring that right field
Yeah,
goal quite a bit.
But he straightened it up.
Yeah, or the left,
punt,
one or the other.
Return team. We had almost 2.
Yeah, had a
go back
touchdown,
for
but
touchdowns.
got
One
brought down.
Got called back for a penalty, and the other one got tackled.
Yeah.
Goal line. It got brought back too, didn't it?
I'm not sure, but I know that we
One
did
was Bryce
score.
Stevens, the other was Satania.
Yeah, Bryce Stevens scored, but they brought it back. So
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, excellent. I thought an excellent showing. Did exactly. I don't know. And honestly, they could have hung triple digits on them.
They definitely. If we kept our starters in, it would have been
had
100-0.
10-minute clock.
Yeah,
in the second
I mean,
half, so a third of the game's going right there.
and we kind of slowed down in the second, towards the end of the second quarter.
Playing the third and fourth string guys.
Yeah.
I
Just
love
going
the
for
fact
reps.
that they were trying to get theirs.
Yeah.
AJ come in, he's 4 for 4.
Yeah.
He's making passes.
The quarterbacks all looked good to me. Taylor Green, he started off a little shaky. He got it down quick, and he threw some great passes. I mean, he threw some excellent, put it right in the basket, and looked good. Aramani Roan and Javon Gibson for UAPB are really the only other two who had some stats that, I mean, I felt like I'd at least say 2 completions for Aramani Roan for 34 yards. I mean, that's what, 16 or 17-yard average there, and then Javon Gibson 2 for 32. All of the running backs, I think, went negative on their yardage, or not negative, but they were under 40 yards, so no touchdowns there, obviously.
Put up in the third quarter where the Razorbacks had something like 200 and something rushing yards, and they had like -8.
Negative
So
8.4 or
how
something, yeah.
dominant
Our
the
defense
was
was
today.
doing. They looked really, really good, and I was excited about that. Rushing wise, Jaquindon Jackson, 8 carries, 101 yards,
Really impressed.
2 touchdowns. We were both noting him in our preview to watch for, but I was pleasantly surprised with how he played. I felt like he had good juke, so I mean he can move his feet, but he wanted to run them through the ground. It looked like.
Yeah.
I mean he was hitting
You could tell
head on.
He was running with purpose.
Yes.
And if it would have been just a kind of a regular game, if it had been like a conference game, he would have probably rushed for 200 yards because they'd have fed.
Yeah, they'd have fed him
that horse 'cause
quite
he
a
was
bit
running.
more. Yeah,
He
he
was
had.
running. But
he
all
was-
the running backs look good.
All of them did. That was just one. Taylor Green was I think the second best rusher on our team. 6 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that touchdown, the second one he had, I think it was the second one where he spun off the real long one that was awesome. I mean, he broke a tackle and then split through 2 or 3 defenders and just got to the edge, and
His
footwork's improved a lot
on that one, and elusiveness
Mm-hmm.
that KJ Jefferson. We talked about that. KJ would have just bowled over the guys.
he would have scored the
He
touchdown,
may
but
have
he
scored.
yeah.
I don't know with it being that long and
Yeah.
that congested. I think KJ probably goes down around the 20 or 15, but Taylor was able to just get to that edge and just glide. He reminded me of Matt Jones a lot on that run.
Yeah. KJ, he wouldn't have gotten the quick out, but he would have ran
he'd
some.
just
He'd
tank
just
you.
he'd have just ran you over.
He'll just
So,
tank you.
and I'll say this: I don't want to say I was worried, but KJ Jefferson leaving, he's got most of our quarterback
Number one on
records.
just
I mean,
about everything
he
but
was
that.
fantastic. So even if it is a downgrade, I don't think it's much lower of a step. I think Taylor
it's a
Green's going to be
nice
awesome.
Change now. If KJ Jefferson's on this team with this coordinator and these guys playing
Heisman,
this way, yeah,
he could be in the
But
Heisman talks.
maybe it was a little bit of, it may have been a good thing for both KJ and for
Yes,
the Razorbacks.
I think he's going to do great at UCF. I really
And
do,
so he'll
and I
just-
wish him the best. He was
Oh,
great
yeah.
for Arkansas.
He'll
No
live-
hard feelings there at
He'll live
all.
on in Razorback stat books, and, and he'll be people's favorite player for a long time.
Yes.
Hopefully, he has a great year at UCF. I hope they win every game unless we play them.
Yeah, in the playoffs or something. But
that's fine.
yeah, big
so-
KJ Jefferson fan though. I mean, I really appreciate what he did for our program, and he put us back into relevancy. Him and Pittman, they did their thing. But Jaquindon Jackson, Taylor Green, Tyler Reed, Braylon Russell surprised me.
was great.
I mean, I knew he was good, but a freshman, I didn't expect him to run the way he did. He ran with purpose. But Tyler Reed, Braylon Russell, Rodney Hill, Malachi Singleton all had a rushing touchdown.
Is he the FSU guy?
Rodney Hill transferred from FSU
Smaller. He's smaller than I thought.
He
would be.
looks really.
But
He
he's-
looks really small,
he's
but
fast.
he's quick, and I mean, he
Good
came from
runner.
FSU, and that's a pretty good program to come
the old
from.
man got in the game.
I was so happy to see his number, and did he? I don't think he even did. He catch a ball?
I think he might have had one target. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
after they started talking about him, I
Yeah.
think maybe he got a target or something. But
I know everybody
It
seen
was
the
good
play
to
he
see
had
him
though.
get in, you know.
Yeah, I think it was the first play he got into. It was amazing. I was freaking out. Middle of the field takes the guy that's defending him and drug him to the side, just
like
pushed
he
him to the sideline like it was
he
his
taking
son.
him to the bus.
It looked like he was packing his bags and like Monte Harrison. I'll tell you this, he did that for a reason. He wants to play. He wants to play football, and I really hope he does too. Because
Full-grown man.
I mean, he took him and he was like, "Come on, let's go over here now. It's time for you to sit down." But that was awesome to see. Just the grown man strength that he had, and I think he's going to do good this year. I think he's going to get to play some, and I'm excited to watch the old man get some snaps.
Yep. Nothing like that old man strength.
No, not at all.
You young bucks try to put us to the test, you know, but it just don't work out for you sometimes.
Oh yeah.
My Hodge twins bleeds over into my Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, I was starting to say it's kind of
figure out how to get
yeah.
that strength
You're
down.
kind
I'll be
of
working on it though.
going through, but potentially one of the last War Memorial games, maybe not,
Well,
but
next year we've got A-State, Red Wolves.
Yeah, at
We're
there.
going to that game. That'll be a big one.
that'll be a big state deal for
that
us.
may be the last one. It may not be. It just depends. But
If Pittman gets his way, it will, but I don't know.
Cool, if it is the last one, that's a cool way
That's
to
a
end
great way to end out. But I
it.
mean,
Hopefully it's a win.
kept the home advantage at War Memorial strong, and I mean we 70-0. That speaks for itself.
Strong
But
as you get.
yeah, you got much else? I'm just
No.
excited for the season. Really.
Let's go beat Oklahoma State. Jump in the top 25 and show everybody, not only the pundits, but the SEC and the Arkansas fans, that we're back.
We're back.
You got to give him the credit for making the hires, getting the staff,
Yeah, and
getting the players.
a controversial thing to
And,
do as well.
Sure. So
And he decided that that's the guy who's going to help, and
let's take it week by week, win
Looks like
every
it.
game that we play, and see what happens at the end of the year.
but yeah, I'm excited. And the last player I'll mention is I'm not even sure who our kicker is, but he was putting it in the stands. It looked like he was trying to kick a field goal kickoff every time.
Did real good.
He was booting it,
kickoff.
but I'm excited, guys. 70-0. Let's go beat the Cowboy Pistol Pete, whatever their team's called, and go into Stillwater and upset them early, and maybe it'll get us ranked. I mean, not Arkansas. I think we could beat Georgia and they wouldn't rank us, but
we'll be ranked in my heart.
yeah. I mean, if we beat Oklahoma State, I think we should get whatever number they go in at.
I've got us at 25 right now.
Yeah, at 25 after that was a strong song, but I mean it's an exciting day, exciting season to be a Hog fan, and I think you guys should be very excited going into the season because had a lot of players.
Enjoy
I mean,
this. Week one, it feels good. Let's enjoy it.
and the picture we didn't even mention Isaac Tesla, but the picture is his one-handed catch, and
one-handed-
that was a
yeah.
great catch.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
beautiful, and that's just what Isaac Tesla does. I mean, he was a JUCO. Everybody wanted him, and he wanted to be a Hog, and I like that. I like that. But I hope you guys are excited. We're going to be back next week. Give a preview of the Oklahoma State game, some our thoughts and opinions of players to watch out for, and then we're going to give a post game sit and spit instant reaction. But
Ponder and ponder.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, comment down below some things you want to see, and be excited for the season. I think Hog fans have somewhere to hang their hat on today, and I think it was a great day to be a Hog fan. But thank you guys for watching. God bless, and go Hogs. Wood Pig.